An expedition only a few humans have taken. This latest dive, 3,800 meters below the surface, produced startling pictures and a startling conclusion. The Titanic is rapidly returning to nature. The man who piloted the mini-submarine was astonished by what he saw.
It's big. It is a big wreck. I wasn't fully ready for just how large it was. And when it came up on sonar, it really stood out.
She was the largest ship ever built.
Nothing fascinates more than stories of the Titanic. Sunk by an iceberg on its maiden voyage, lost to the depths for much of a century. A tragedy at sea, told and retold in movies and books. Now vanishing, attacked by strong currents, exposure to salt and bacteria.
I think there's microbial bacteria that are actually eating into the metal, and although some parts are in better condition than others, it looks like seriously important parts of the ship are actually disappearing to history.
Captain Edward Smith's porcelain bathtub, for instance, has disappeared from sight.
And the worst case scenario is that within 10 years' time, Titanic could just be a rust stain in the sand on the bottom of the Atlantic.
The bright lights of the submersible, the first time when they reflected off of a portal and came right back, it was like the ship was winking at me.
For the obsessed, the Titanic's decline has renewed hope of raising the wreck before it's too late.
I think if we were to carefully raise her now, she could actually last for the next 500, 1,000 years, and she'd probably be one of the major tourist attractions on the planet.
And by his estimate, saving the Titanic would cost less than a Hollywood blockbuster film.
More than 12,000 feet down in bitterly cold water at the bottom of the Atlantic, a shocking sight. The legendary Titanic is crumbling. Salt water, strong currents, and metal-eating bacteria taking a devastating toll.
It is a big wreck. I wasn't fully ready for just how large it was.
This is how the bow looked 14 years ago, and this is the bow today. Those icicle shapes are bacteria eating the metal. That famous bathtub in the captain's quarters has now disappeared, hidden, the team says, under a collapsing deck. The expedition, led by renowned explorer Victor Vescovo, dove down in a specially designed submersible made by a Florida company, which took 3 years to build. 5 dives over 8 days earlier this month.
And the most amazing moment came when I was going along the side of the Titanic, and the bright lights of the submersible, the first time when they reflected off of a portal and came right back, it was like the ship was winking at me.
The wreck of the Titanic lies deep down, 12,500 feet underwater. Scientists say it's now covered in bacteria, threatening to turn the ship's 50,000 tons of iron into powder, the Titanic dissolving into the sea.
These images will allow them to create 3D models to preserve the wreck in virtual reality. They'll also help scientists determine just how much longer this wreck will be around. Some estimates say the Titanic could disappear completely by 2030. Kelly Kobiella, NBC News, London.